Welcome to our crash course video.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Annalise.
I'm Anissa.
I'm Mia.
And we're going to be discussing The Glass Menagerie. I will be discussing the author, Tennessee Williams. His life is basically utilized over and over again in the creation of his dramas. He was born in Columbus, Mississippi. He lived the first 10 years of his life in his maternal grandparents' home because his father was a traveling salesman. His father was a loud, outgoing, hard-working man, which made Tennessee Williams very concerned. In contrast to his father, his mother was very quiet and possessive, which caused her to be very attached to her children. Tennessee was plagued with many childhood diseases, which hindered his attendance at a regular school. Instead, he just read a ton of books in his grandfather's library. The greatest shock in his life was the move of his family when he was 12. He was ridiculed for his accent in school and had to live in a cramped apartment for a while. He was never accepted after they had moved. After Tennessee finished high school, he went to the University of Missouri and began to write a lot. He also found out that alcohol was the cure for his sensitive shyness. He began winning prizes for writing, but nothing he had written was very significant. Now that he finally learned how to write, he began using his early life in most of his plays. His favorite setting is Southern with Southern characters. He later attended the State University of Iowa, where he wrote 2 long plays for creative writing. After he left Iowa, he spent his time writing until the money was gone. Then he had his great first success with the play The Glass Menagerie, which was written in 1944. Okay, and now I'm going to be talking about the characters. Amanda Wingfield is the single mother of Laura and Tom. Laura is Amanda's daughter and Tom's sister. She has a bad leg, so she has to wear a brace to help her walk. Okay. She is very withdrawn from the outside world. Tom Wingfield is Amanda's son and Laura's brother. He is also a poet that works at a shoe factory to support the family. Jim O'Connor is an old acquaintance of Tom and Laura. He is a popular athlete in school and works as a shipping clerk in a shoe warehouse. Mr. Wingfield is Amanda's husband and her children's father. He worked for a telephone company and then he abandoned his family before the action of the play. So you don't get to see him in the play at all. So there's that.
Alright, is that it?
Scene 1. The setting. Late 1930s. After the Great Depression. Everybody is still very depressed. The family lives in a lower middle class, overcrowded urban area apartment. Scene 1. We are now beginning our opening scene. Tom is the one, as the narrator, who begins the opening scene. He talks about how he's turning back time to recollect the play because the play is not in the present tense, it's a part of his memory. Because like Anissa said, Tennessee Williams wrote this in 1940 something. Well, this takes place in late 30s, like we just said. He talks about Spain, Chicago, and Cleveland. James. And a town called Guernica. A town in northern Spain heavily bombarded by German aircraft in 1937 during the Spanish Civil War. Why he incorporates this little part is just to let us know how awful times are right now. Dead awful, drop dead awful. And then he talks about the music and lighting in the play. At this point in the present, as he's talking to us, giving us a little intro, he is a merchant sailor. You're gonna have to need to know that. That's important. Tom is a poet. I think Tom is an embodiment of Tennessee Williams, the author. And as we advance through our summary, we might see some little clues and hints that make you might just find the same conclusion. Lastly, before the memory commences, as well as the play, he addresses his father. Dark stuff. A larger than life-size photo over the fire mantle is what beholds any remaining artifacts of his father. His father was a telephone man who left a long time ago before the kids were ever born. but he is brought up a few times in the story, so he's kind of important. Alright, the memories begin. So the scene begins. Laura and Amanda are eating dinner. Tom is not down yet, so Tom is naturally called to the table because grace cannot be said without him. An argument breaks out as Amanda, the mother, keeps dogging the two children for their awful table etiquette. Tom leaves the table. Laura tries to leave as well, but is told to sit down. Amanda says that she is expecting a lot of male callers tonight. Now, this is very important for this play because male callers are a gateway to freedom, technically, in this here play. See, a male caller, let me define one for you in my terms. A male caller will be summoned over for dinner, and if the male happens to like the girl, they get married. And happy ever after. Alright, so Amanda says she is expecting male callers. Well, they haven't had male callers in Lord knows how long, so they all listen to this, like, blah, 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 mom, nobody's coming over. Anyway, so she goes on to talk about back in her day and how she used to entertain all the male callers and how fabulous it was. Finally, the children just cut her off and they're like, look, mom, there's no male callers coming tonight. That's back in your day. This is 1930. Like, we're so modern. And then it ends with the mother being shocked that they don't think a single male caller is coming over. So that's scene 1 in a wrap. Scene 2. Amanda comes home from a Daughter of American Revolution meeting. Laura frantically stashes away her collection of glass she had been polishing as her mother comes through the door. And when she's done putting away her polished glass, she acts as if though she was studying because that's what she was supposed to be doing while her mom was gone. You know how it is when your mom walks in on you. Laura asks about the meeting. Amanda did not go to the Daughters of American Revolution meeting like she was supposed to. Laura is still kind of shaken and nervous from her mother's abrupt entrance. And she tries to play it off like, oh, how'd it go? How'd it go? Amanda asks Laura, between all this chitter chatter, what are we gonna do? What is to become of us? What is the future? Very dramatic, emotional. She continues with these strange questions until Amanda finally admits that she missed the meeting to go check on Laura's school. So big secret, Laura is supposed to be going to business school that her mom, Amanda, signed her up for. $50 in tuition. $50. Turns out, Laura went for a few days and dropped out due to her overwhelming shyness. Well, she never told her mother, so secrets come around to bite you. Amanda is angry, claiming a waste of tuition. Oh my heavens, Lord, that's a lot of money. Laura's last hope went out the window with business school. Amanda asks where Laura's been going instead of class. Laura says she just walks around town. She goes to the museum, she goes to the zoo. She says that she walks around in the cold because she is too scared to confront her mother and tell her that she dropped out. Amanda resolves that Laura's last chance to get anywhere in life is to get married. She asks if Laura has ever liked a boy. Laura describes a boy from high school named Jim who she adored greatly. Laura ends up admitting that she is very shy and probably never marry because she is crippled. The scene ends with Amanda telling Laura that all she needs is charm, just like her father. Scene 3. Tom, back into his narrator mode in the present in his merchant marine suit, describes the importance of a male caller has become now that Laura dropped out. Weighing over the house as her mom frantically is judging Laura for dropping out, and Laura is just so scared. She doesn't want to get married. She's so young and innocent. So we go back to the memory after he explains the sheer weight this is over the family. Tom and Amanda are arguing again. Tom feels he has no freedom despite being the one who works and pays rent for the house. Amanda insists that Tom has been going out drinking and doing shameful, awful things, and he's selfish. Yikes. Tom argues he drinks because he hates working at the shoemaker warehouse, and he hates having to wake up every morning to Amanda screeching, "Rise and shine." He also says if he was selfish, he'd taken a chapter out of his father's book and hit the streets already. They finally stop arguing. Tom starts to leave the house to go watch movies. Amanda tries to stop him, and he goes on a colorful rant, calling Amanda an old witch. It hit home. It strikes hard. He gets frustrated with his coat and throws it across the room where it hits the shelf that carries Laura's glass collection, menagerie, causing Laura to scream in panic. And Amanda, recovering from the shock that what Tom's atrocious, hurtful words said, scream after him that she won't talk to him until he apologizes. And that's the end of scene 4. Tom comes home drunk and has trouble opening the door. Laura gets it for him and asks why he's out so late. He tells her all about the movies and everything he saw. There was a magician that turned water to beer, and Tom volunteered to drink it. After telling everything, they go to sleep. In the morning, Amanda tells Laura to tell him everything because Amanda's still not talking to Tom. Laura is sent to go get groceries. Tom and Amanda are left home awkwardly until Tom finally apologizes for his obscene outbreak. Amanda cries, like moms do, and they make up. Amanda says she worries about Laura, and they get to talking about her. So she's worried about Laura because she dropped out of school and she doesn't really care about anything except for her little glass animals. Then she starts talking about Tom. She knows Tom doesn't want to be there at the house, and she saw his letter from the merchant marine. Amanda, is scared that Tom is going to run away just like his father. Tom is, with all of this discussion, close to being late for work, and on the way out, Amanda asks Tom to find a man at the warehouse for Laura. Hook up. Tom and Amanda are out on the fire escape, aka porch, looking at the moon and making wishes. They get to talking, and Tom says he invited a man from the warehouse over for dinner and that he'll be coming the next day. Well, this sends Amanda into a frenzy. She starts preparing right away, completely transforming the home and making dinner plans. While she's working, she has Tom describe the male caller. His name is James O'Connor. Tom went to high school with him. He's not very handsome. He's not very interesting, but a man's a man. Tom says he didn't tell James about Laura, though. So that's a secret. It's kind of scary. They argue a little over that. The scene ends with Laura and Amanda looking at the moon, wishing for happiness and good fortune. Scene 6. Tom once again. The narrator reflects on Jim. He knew him in high school, like I said before. Tom starts to leave. Oh, wait. In high school, Jim was very successful. He was very cool. Everybody loved him. He was talented, smart, successful. And then everything went downhill once he graduated. Jim was the coolest, most popular kid. Smart, charming, and talented. He was destined for greatness, but life happened, and now he's at the warehouse. And likes Tom because Tom remembers him and his days of glory. Back to the memory. Laura is nervous because her mother is making such a big fuss over this male comer. Amanda dresses up herself and Laura, making them astonishingly attractive compared to their usual selves. Amanda reflects again on when she was young and wooed all the male callers. Laura asks who the man coming over is, and when Amanda says it's Jim O'Connor, Laura feels dreadfully sick. Jim O'Connor is Laura's high school crush mentioned before. Laura is now refusing to attend the dinner because she is so nervous and sick. Amanda says that no such thing will happen and orders Laura to open the door when Tom arrives with Jim. They do arrive, and Laura is too scared to open the door, resulting in the men standing out there for a while, Amanda screaming at Laura to get over there and open the door. Finally opening the door, they introduce each other for a little while. Then Tom and Jim go out on the fire escape and talk about work. Jim tells Tom he's on a thin rope. There's word going around that he's about to get fired if he doesn't get himself together. Tom admits to Jim that he plans on leaving to the Merchant Marines and that he used the money Amanda gave him for the light bill to pay his Merchant Marine dues. Yikes. Amanda calls for the two men, saying that dinner is ready, and the scene ends with them saying grace and Laura silently crying on the couch. Scene 7. Half an hour later, after just finishing the dinner, the lights go out because he didn't pay the bill. Tom says he forgot to pay the bill. Amanda orders him to do the dishes as punishment. Jim asks to help, saying he wants to be good for something, and Amanda completely flips out, saying, "Good for something? You? Why, Mr. O'Connor, nobody's given me this much entertainment in years as you have." She asks if he would go comfort Laura. She shows him one of her glass collection pieces, a little unicorn, her favorite. Laura and Jim start talking and get well acquainted, so much so that they begin to dance. They break the little unicorn in the process. Jim feels bad, but Laura says it's okay. They talk some more. Finally, Jim kisses her. While Laura sits there in a stupefied trance, Jim starts talking again and admits that he is engaged to be married and that he won't be able to call her back, that she was just a one-night fling, that he used her. And after that, the atmosphere is a little awkward and Jim leaves shortly after. Amanda accuses Tom, saying he should have known that Jim was engaged and they just wasted time. Tom leaves again, because, you know, he runs away. Amanda goes to comfort Laura. Tom ends the play as narrator, saying not long after that, he was fired from the warehouse for writing a poem on a shoebox, and he left the house forever. Sad ending. The end.
I will be discussing symbolism throughout the Glass Menagerie. So anyways, Tom, he really just hates his life and is always trying to escape his troubles. So he always goes to the movies when things get hard. So at the movies, there is a fire escape there, and he always stands by the fire escape. So the fire escape symbolizes an actual escape for him, because he would go there to smoke and get away from his mother's constant bickering. Tennessee Williams uses many symbols throughout the play, but a very prominent symbol for jonquils. She always brings up jonquils when she talks about her past, and jonquils are like a type of flower. She talks about this whenever she talks about her past and when she was young and pretty and was always surrounded by gentlemen callers. Laura is a very fragile and withdrawn person, so throughout the book, they show that her life is surrounded by these teensy tiny little glass animals. Well, the glass animals symbolize what Laura's life is like, which is very delicate and fanciful. The title of the play, The Glass Menagerie, the most prominent symbol in the title, represents Laura's fragility and unique beauty. The Glass Menagerie also represents the vulnerability of memory and of dream worlds. One wrong move and their worlds can come crashing down, shattering into pieces. It represents anything that cannot withstand the harsh reality of the world. Here are some quotes to help back up my reasoning. Ooh, here's a good one. Okay, from scene 6, it says, a fragile, unearthly prettiness has come out in Laura. She is like a piece of translucent glass touched by light, given a momentary radiance, not actual, not lasting. Scene 7, quote. Jim says, Jim is her gentleman caller. Well, supposedly, apparently he has another fiance back home, but I think that's just an excuse, honestly. Jim asks, what kind of glass is it? And Laura replies with, little articles of it. They're ornaments, mostly. Most of them are little animals made out of glass, the tiniest little animals in the world. Mother calls them a glass menagerie. Oh, be careful. If you breathe, it breaks. There now, you're holding them gently. Hold him over the light. He loves the light. You see how the light shines through him? And that's the end quote. And that concludes symbolism for the play. Thank you very much.
I'm going to talk about themes within the Glass Menagerie. One of the main themes in the drama is memory. In the very beginning of the drama, Tom describes it as a memory play. He says, the play is memory. Being a memory play, it is dimly lighted, it is sentimental, and it is not realistic. According to Tom, the style and content of the play are shaped by memory. He describes that the play lacks realism, it is highly dramatic and overblown. The use of music and its origins are even due to memory. Most fictional works are produced by imagination and have to convince the audience that it is something else by using realism. But a play created from memory is produced by real life experiences and does not need to convey itself as realistic. Throughout the play, Tom and Amanda are both haunted by memories from their past, and the memories Laura has from her childhood almost seem as important as her glass animals. The theme of memory is a force that comes close to preventing the characters from finding happiness in the drama. But memory and nostalgia are also the force that drive the play. Another important theme shown in the Glass Menagerie is the difficulty of accepting fate or reality. However, Laura seems to have the weakest grasp. Her real life is overcome with glass animals and, like Laura's inner being, are immensely delicate. The family members have no motivation to pursue careers or personal relationships. To the Wingfields, the outside world seems like an illusion. The Glass Menagerie illustrates a quest of grasping reality by illusion. Themes in the Glass Menagerie help to convey the characters' personalities and illustrate their true selves throughout the drama.
Thomas, short for Thomas. Duh.
Little Tommy here.
Well, Timmy Tom.
It's a quote. It says lighted.
Really?
Yeah.
On what?
Should I say
Well, it's lighted.
The son of Amanda.